We just minding our business. Excellence is going to come out. If left to our own devices, we will fuck around and be the best at everything. We was dominating at tennis so hard they had to come out with pickleball just so they could find something that we hadn't beat them in. They bit their lip till it bled trying to keep from saying Serena was the best tennis player that ever lived. Still don't want to give her credit. Like, I could give so many examples of this. And in the midst of our resting, the Black excellence just keeps rolling on. I don't know this young man with the baseball, but I do know how they did that boy from American Idol, Jamal Roberts, and how Carrie Underwood did him. It's a perfect example. That boy was in that competition by himself. I could listen to him sing all day. I would be doing stuff and put his TikToks on so they'll just keep playing over and over again. That boy, that's God in that throat. He got God's throat. He got God in his throat. Let's talk about just singers, for example. Y'all keep comparing Beyonce and Taylor Swift. I could go to any black church in America and find 10 singers better than Taylor Swift. Like, white people, mainstream praises mediocrity because they feel akin to it. Beyonce is excellence. Beyonce done came to the Grammys multiple times, been 0 for 8. Watching people like Taylor Swift and whoever take Grammys that was rightfully hers, Adele and whoever. Even Adele had to get up there and be like, listen, I didn't beat her, but somehow I won. This shit ain't right. Then she won the best country album and y'all gonna take the whole category away? Interesting. The girl who Coco Gauff beat said she never thought she would lose to a black player because she had been playing so good. She said she's not trying to be racist. You should have said, I never thought I could lose. Why is it stinging extra more because she's a black player? She kicked your ass and you're mad about it. So much that you would turn the hatred on yourself and say, I messed up. I didn't play good enough. I made too many mistakes. You would turn the hatred on yourself because it couldn't possibly be that this young black girl whooped your ass. And that's exactly what she did. Listen, I don't know why people are pissed at us for having a good time. I hope they never find their way to help me find my draws side of TikTok. Because I don't know what's going on in Mississippi right now, but they down there cooking, baby. They down there cooking. They done sent Jamal to American Idol. They over there looking for their drawers in their neighbor's bedroom, all kind of things. If y'all end up on Help Me Find My Drawers side of TikTok, you're going to get stuck there for about an hour or two because, listen, it's hilarious.
Hello there, brothers and sisters. I really hope you're doing fine from whichever part of the world you're watching this from. My name is Dave K.E. and this is Real Talk Black. So now, it's now in the public domain that most of these black, not black, but white folks, some members of the Hispanic community, Latinos, and just the white supremacists in general, they are not happy with what currently the president, that is Donald Trump, is implementing. They're not happy with some of the policies that are being implemented, and they had very many opinions, and they had a lot to say about, the policies that are being implemented. So we understand that most of them, during the voting period, they voted for Donald Trump, in as much as he had some of these things in in his manifesto, and they read them out. He spoke about them in almost every rally, but then they still went ahead and elected him. So I'm not talking, or I'm not saying this to trash talk anybody, or just a disclaimer that it's just my own honest opinion about the situation. So I came a few clips online, and let's have a look at a few of them and then have a really quick discussion at the end of it all. See you.
That there will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves. Then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is the only thing that will bring an end to it.
All black people have to do is just play the game. Yes, I have mutual love and respect for China, but let's not get it twisted. A lot of those creations and accessories that they're able to create in the first place is because of the materials they got from Africa. An abundant amount of accessories they use to create Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and other high-brand accessories comes from African countries like Congo, Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, etc. I don't want to say that an enemy of my enemy is my friend, because that's not exactly what this is. Like one of those intriguing characters in a video game. They're not exactly your friend, but they're not exactly your enemy either. They're willing to work and aid with you as long as you're willing to give them something in return. Hence, the massive trade and cultural exchange between China and Africa. And even though, yes, China is undoubtedly exploiting Africa, Africa is actually getting richer because of China in the first place. Best way I can explain the connection between Africa and China is China said, here, you give me this in exchange, I will help you not only become richer, but I will help you eliminate and to remove the grabs of Europe and America. I see the forced colonization and the oppression that Europe and America has on you. I will help you. In exchange, you give me these resources and you have to join my BRICS alliance. There's a reason why the economic and cultural exchange between Africa and China is so massive. There's also reasons why numerous of Africans are moving to China, sharing their culture, their language, and establishing relationships and friendships with other Chinese people. Same way with numerous of Chinese people traveling to Africa, just for them to understand that Africa and China culture and traditions is similar to one another. It goes deeper than exploitation. There is a plan behind this, and China knows this very well. China knew that America was going to slip up one day, and it was only a matter of time, which is why they are trying so hard to establish a connection with Africa as a whole. When China gets richer, so does Africa. They are using and exploiting each other, yet at the same time, they are both benefiting from it. This is something that black people have to understand. Don't get me wrong, I understand the distance, as you should. I've been on Shao Hongshu for a fat minute. China knows more and well educated on black people than you actually think. But there's a deeper meaning behind all of this. This is actually incredible for Africa. If Africa can remove the hold that Europe and America has on Africa, Africa will boom economically. Major corporations like Tesla, Nike, and Shell will have no choice but to back out. Federal government entities like the FBI and the CIA will have no choice but to remove themselves. Aid China, aid Africa, and in the long run, black people will also come out of this unscathed. Think about it. If China is telling the world where these accessories and necessities are actually made, then this is Africa's chance to tell the world where these materials are actually sourced from. This will tip the balance of power. And if black people return back to Africa, this will give Africa the chance to become a continental superpower. Are you guys catching on yet? Okay. Africa wouldn't just be rich by natural resources, but with people multiplied. Tourism will exceed beyond limitation, and culture, economy, minds, and inventions will skyrocket throughout Africa. Black people understand the only benefit that we are getting out of this is liberation. I'll say this one more time. Play the game and play until your thumbs hurt on that joystick. Not just liberation for us in America, but for Africa as a whole. That's all I have to say on the matter. This is Onyx, and I'll see you guys very soon.
I hate to be the one to say this, and I really do mean I hate to be the one to say this, but having a boss that's an older black woman is the most depressing psychological warfare that you could ever experience. And I hate that that's become a stereotype and a norm. My friend and I were talking this morning, and she was just talking about her experience that she had just had over the last year with her previous boss, and how she literally felt like she was going crazy. And she knew she wasn't tripping. And I had told her, like, over the last year, like over the last 3 years, to be honest, some of the things that I had been experiencing with my bosses, and I work in education, and we all know that's a woman-dominated field. And then I live in Atlanta at that. So, and we know, like, it's nothing but black excellence here. However, when I tell you, like, the amount of projection that I've experienced and the trauma that I've experienced has been out of this world when it comes to having black women in leadership. Like, I was on 2 antidepressants because I literally felt like I was going crazy because
of the women, the older women that was in leadership. Like, it was literally, I would come home drained every day, not from the work that I was doing, but from the relationships, from the cattiness, from the backbiting, from just the atmosphere of the workplace in general. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, and I don't mean this with no shade, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis thing. I don't know if it's I hate my role. I don't know if it's I'm trying to prove something. But having a Black woman that's a boss, like, it can literally be life draining. And then, like, you would think, like, oh, they're gonna, especially like being a Black woman, like a younger Black woman, like they're gonna show you like the game, like they're gonna put you on. No, like it almost feels like you're being hazed at that point, like literally. And it's quite as kept in education, like being in Atlanta. You know, everybody's a part of sorority, and that's another story for a different day. But it literally, I can't even explain like the mental warfare that it was like. And I just hate that has become a stereotype. And I pray that if I ever get a position of leadership, that I can break that role. And I'm like, Lord, if you ever give me that, I want to be able to help, and I never want to be able to cause that to anybody else. But I just hate that that's the case. And even the new school that I'm at, that my current bosses are white men, and it is completely different. It is so different. They leave me be. Like, they're actually encouraging me to go back to school so I can get a position of leadership. Like, having white men as bosses has just been a completely different experience. And I just hate that that's become the norm. And I know I'm not the only one has had that experience when it comes to having a Black woman as a boss.
An East Asian woman came on this app and called Black women cowards because we have decided not to be on the front line for these protests against immigration, mass deportation. She said that a lot of Black women are cowards. We are cowards if we are not on the front line. And she said in another video that a lot of our ancestors were cowards, which is wild considering had it not been for our ancestors, you would not be here. Your parents would not have been able to immigrate here. It was the blood, sweat, and tears of my ancestors that, allows people to come to the United States of America for a better life. So to call us cowards is crazy. But I'm just curious, do other ethnic groups not recognize that Black people are not slaves anymore? Like, we don't have to do a damn thing but stay Black and die. Like, we are not your slaves. We don't have to do anything that we don't want to do. And to be honest, the reason why their attention is more focused on us opposed to their perpetrators, the people who voted for the mass deportation, the white man who's in charge, the reason why their energy is towards Black people is because they see Black people as inferior. Like, we are second-class citizens, we're low-class citizens, and they're superior to us. And the fact that all of the attention is on immigration right now and they are targeted, they just can't grasp, like, not us, but we're Asian, we're not Black, but we're Hispanic, we're not Black. Why is this happening to us and not the Black people? But we're not Black, but we're supposed to be okay because we're not Black. And they don't like that right now the heat is on them. It's always been on Black people, still is, but they just don't like. Now, if Black people were under attack right now, when I say Black people, I mean Black Americans, as much as, immigrants, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't say anything about us because they would feel like, well, at least, Black people are getting attacked too. But because right now it's really bad for them, they have to blame us. They have to blame us. It's not our job to save you. It's not our job to save you. And you cannot manipulate us, gaslight us, guilt us, force us to do anything that we don't want to do. And calling us cowards is not helping your case.
If we had slave owners about 5 generations ago, and 25% of white people in the South were slave owners, then that means pretty much every white person in the South had an ancestor that was a slave owner, pretty much the majority. So to say that racism isn't a problem anymore, after only 5 generations, where each generation they pass down these racist views to their children, just makes you completely blind. In order to make this country less racist, we have to first acknowledge that racism exists. We can't just avoid it. We can't just say, I don't see color, stop talking about racism, stop talking about the biggest elephant in the room, and it'll go away. We need a deep understanding of what white supremacy and white privilege is, and how every white person is benefiting from this. And once we can do that, then all of the working class, we can all unite. We can all stop having somebody to hate, and instead, we can start hating the top 1%. The ones that are turning us into slaves. Ones who are taking all of our money that we're working hard for. The ones benefiting off of our labor and barely doing anything themselves. Until we can all come together as one and say, enough of this hate, enough of me not listening to my brothers and sisters that are suffering. Let me hear them out. Let me hear what I need to do. Let us work together. Then we cannot drive change in this capitalist country. We cannot fight for the working class if the working class is not united. The whole system is designed to make sure we're not united because there's powers in numbers. So you need people fighting each other so that they don't realize how powerful they actually are together, and they learn how to love each other. You guys do realize that the top 1% has so much money that if they wanted to, they could supply every single person in the United States with a home. But what are they doing with all of that money that they will never spend in their lifetime, that their great-great-great-grandchildren will never spend in their lifetime? And if you are one of those Christian nationalists, I have a Bible verse for you. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God.
Child, I'll never forget, we were selling our townhome a few years back, and the black realtor looked at me and said, "You so black?" Now let me be clear, she wasn't saying it in an affirming way. But baby, I smiled and said, "Thank you. I'll have it no other way." Like, baby, you can't be serious. Joke's on you. What she really meant to say was, you haven't assimilated enough. And baby, that ain't never happening. So joke's on you. But that moment taught me a few things. One, some black folks, now let's be honest, it's more than a few, still throw out little digs to other black folks that don't affirm us, but affirm whiteness. Like somehow we haven't arrived. Child, please. 2, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You better know that. 3, for some, assimilation has become this comfort zone. And it's sad because the comfort comes at a cost, at the expense of disassociating from parts of their blackness. Because you do know, the moment you don't do what they want you to do, they'll turn into Karens and Kens and strip you of your gray card or something like that. Child, it's a farce if you ever think they're going to let you in the club. So no thank you for me. You won't be dangling a carrot in my face. And then lastly, there's a whole lot of black folks still carrying around a shitload of internalized racism with no reconciliation in sight. You better know that. But baby, let me be crystal clear. I will always be black. I will always associate with blackness. Look black, sound black, hell, even smell black. I will always be proud, and I will always be unapologetic about who I am. Baby, it took me so long to shake off the smell of whiteness. And baby, I ain't never going back. And the takeaway is this. Don't let nobody, black, white, or otherwise, shame you out of your full blackness. Because your black is beautiful. It's powerful. And baby, it's enough. Always has been, always will. So drink your water. Stay rooted, real, knowledgeable, and black. And mind your black business. Happy Black History 365. And I'll see you next time. Ciao. Imagine having a head start and you still losing. But here's the plot twist. You think you winning. My grandma would say, bless their little hearts. 'Cause white supremacy really think it's winning. But baby, they made the people that's gonna beat it. Now stick with me. You ever work out with weights on, put on a weighted vest and ran laps? That's what racism did. Put weights on our backs, weights on our ankles for generations. But you know what happens when you work out with weights? or a weighted vest. Oh, y'all know. It makes you stronger, skilled, faster, resilient. Baby, the weights didn't break us. They trained us. Baby, they've been sitting back with a 400-year head start, kicking their legs up, thinking mediocre is a trophy. Meanwhile, we've been in the trenches, baby, getting it out the mud, creating, learning, building. And baby, that's why our excellence is a transferable skill. That's why we keep showing up better, smarter, louder. And baby, this ain't just talk. Look at the wealth gap. That's proof right there. The system is stacked. But despite that, Black entrepreneurship is still growing. Black businesses are still fueling communities. Our art, our music, and culture. And the world, baby, they still trying to catch up. Child, they rig the rules, they cheat, they rewrite history, and they still losing. Bless their little hearts. You got Karens and Kens watching everything we do like it's a mystery. It ain't no mystery. It's resilience. It's resistance, love, family, community. That's Black culture. That's Black excellence. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have to keep those vests on for a little longer. Because baby, the race ain't over. But they done messed up. They underestimated us. Big mistake. Black history is the movement. Every day. Happy Black History 365. And I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for watching until the end. And if you're coming across the channel for the first time, please take a minute to subscribe, like and share so that you can help me get to 5,000 subscribers. So now it's very evident from the clips that most of these folks are not, they have not come to the terms that, Black folks are no longer slaves and they are no longer beneficiaries of white supremacy. So in the recent years or in the past years, we had different groups of Black communities coming out to condemn the government, holding, demonstrations and all that. But then these white folks would always come and trash talk the Black people, saying that they are not, they do not want to work, they're lazy and all that. They should be deported back to their countries and all such kind of hulabalo. But then right now, the good thing is that the reality is now happening to them. These policies that Mr. Donald Trump has imposed is affecting them directly. We have the tariffs. Now, one of the policies that Mr. Donald Trump advocated for was securing the borders of the United States and, mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. So, so far we have seen ICE raiding the streets of Chicago and all the major cities, trying to sweep out all those illegal immigrants. And then what then happens to the economy is that there are no people to work in the farms. Recently, we had Arkansas farmers crying out for the government to be bailed out. They're not able to sell their products. There are no people to work on their farms simply because majority of people who worked in these farms were Black folks, and now they were deported to their families. But then this now has a ripple effect to the economy. The truckers are not able to transport goods from one point to another, which then now paralyzes the economy. Also, we have another policy of Donald Trump was, to cut the wastage in the government. And he came in with Elon Musk, and they established the Dodge Department, which saw a lot of people lose their jobs. Many people were laid off, citing wastage in the government. So now the reality hits home that most of these white folks now are also not able to afford basic needs. They're not able to afford gas, and all that. But then these are the same things that the Black folks have been going through. We have been subjected to that. But then the black folks are somehow resilient in a way. They have been finding measures to cope and try and adapt to such kinds of situations. So recently, we had the announcement by the government that they're going to stop SNAP and EBT benefits for the families, which I do not know how many people took that, but many of the folks were against that, and yeah, so many families will not be able to buy groceries or support themselves with the basic needs because they really depended on these benefits for themselves. But then it again raises the question of who really depended on the SNAP and EBT benefits. Was it the black or the white folks? Which, in my opinion, does not really matter which group depended on it so much. But then it's going to affect a great number of people, and something has to be done about that. So, what do you think about this whole situation? Share with me your thought down below in the comment section. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.